Welcome back, my darlings, my beautiful collective. You caught me just in the nick of time. So this is going to be our Oracle Tarot combo for today. We're going to be using the LeClaire Lenormand deck. Of course, we already got one popping out. Why wouldn't we? Let's just start here, and then we're going to transition to our tarot. The first card that's popping out is the Woman card, okay, feminine energy. So immediately what kind of comes to mind is, are you in the mode to receive? Because this is receptive energy, right? Or it can involve divine feminine. So my friend Kelly's phrase is, your heart light on. Are you open? Right? So we have a feminine energy. What's next? Clouds. Okay, so there is, in regards to this feminine energy, there is confusion, doubt, worry, a little bit of uncertainty here, huh? That could be on the part of the divine feminine, or it could be in regards to this divine feminine energy. What else is present here? What other energies do we have? Yeah, the mouse. Okay, so this is worry. This is, again, anxiety, stress. There's almost like this scarcity mindset, lack, a bit of nervousness, right? I feel like the uncertainty in the future, you know, or uncertainty of the future is what is causing this like tense energy here. We have also the anchor. Okay, so the anchor can be about work. It can also be about settling down. Perhaps someone wanting some stability here, and or maybe to shore something up. Maybe for so long, things have been up in the air between this other energy and this feminine energy. Or maybe the feminine energy is the one that's craving stability. Yeah, the child. I feel like there is this desire to transition to a more lighthearted or playful energy here. This is somebody wanting to start over. This is playfulness. This is new beginnings. This could be some inner child stuff too. Maybe the divine feminine, it has been doing things, has been working really hard, and maybe it's time for her to let her inner child play. Or consequentially, it can be the other party that is attached to the divine feminine energy who knows that things have gotten so serious between the two of them and now wants to be in this more lighthearted energy of, hey, can we really start over? But can we like go back to where things weren't so serious between us? We have the star and we have the dog. Okay, so the star is like about a hope or a dream, wishing upon a star, right? Inspiration, maybe progress towards a goal. Somebody's goal here, or wishful thinking here, is to start over. And then with the dog, this talks about friendship. This talks about support, loyalty, being allies. You know, this talks about someone who I feel like they really feel like they screwed up. And they really would like to restart this friendship. But I feel like they have a long way to go to earn your trust. You know, if you're the divine feminine, I think that trust has been broken and shattered. But I do feel like they're starting to realize that you bring them joy and happiness. Maybe they've always realized this, but maybe they've never shown it to you. But I feel like now they're wanting to come back in this energy of reestablishing that, of doing things right this time. They realize that it's a big problem with the cross. I feel like they've caused this problem, you know? And I'm kind of like in this era of, I no longer want to give people credit, you know, for problems that they solved when they were the ones who created the problem in the first place. So it's like, yeah, you can't claim to be the victim of the shit you started, right? No, it doesn't work like that. Not in my book. I don't entertain that. I feel like this person, though, they realize that I feel like there's a lot of, like I said, a big problem, a burden with the cross. There's definitely a cross to bear here. But we also have the clover. This is about hope. This is about taking a chance. I feel like they know that they caused a big problem here, but I also feel like they are trying, it's almost like a gamble. They're willing to risk it. They're hoping that luck is going to be on their side and that they can turn whatever this is around. Interesting. We have the Garden. I feel like this is about making something public, publicly known. The Garden is where people used to gather in the days before television. You would go there for perhaps a little entertainment, to see the sights. People watch, as we say, right? It's where you would get the gossip. It is where people went to be seen, right? So I feel like whatever this is, it's going to be out in the open now. Yeah. I feel like they're feeling exposed. So this is the Fox. This talks about trickery or treachery energy, right? Someone who was perhaps maybe a bit selfish in the past and maybe now willing to come clean about that. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge that they were wrong for what they've done. You might even get an apology out of this, huh? And I do feel like this is probably going to come without warning. With the Scythe, it says danger, accident, warning, sudden, harvest, right? So I feel like I'm getting the image of them ripping the Band-Aid off. Okay, let's close this out. What other things do we have? Yeah, I feel like someone is going to tell you how they feel. I do feel like with the Heart card, this is about love, romance, affection. The energy at the bottom of the deck, the Book, it's about something that is going to be revealed. This talks about secret, unknown, knowledge, research, mystery. I feel like someone is going to... The Book, in a way, can almost be a journal, right? Exposing their innermost thoughts and feelings about a situation. So I do feel like this is what is coming. Very interesting. A confession. A revelation. Someone wants to let you know something. That they've always been loyal to you. Even when they were treating you like crap. I'm sorry, my loves. What can I say? It is the plight of the divine feminine, right? Let's take a look now at the tarot. For today's tarot, we're going to be using the Stained Glass Tarot, one of my new favorite decks. So let's see where Spirit takes us. Okay, of course, doing the Celtic Cross, let's pick that up. So, the first card popping out, it's the Devil. Well, talk about addictions, obsessions, restrictions, codependencies. This is energy that would prohibit something from moving forward or from taking off, right? So restrictions for sure. So what is going on? We've got our starting energy is like held back, and we also have that coupled with the Death card. So there are two ways we could read this, right? The Devil energy says that you're stuck. The Death card can also say that you're stuck. It can mean the end of something, but it can also mean the beginning of something as well. The Death card is, in as much it is about endings, it's also about new beginnings. It is transition energy, right? Leaving the old behind and becoming something new or moving towards something new. So I feel like perhaps something has got this situation on pause or on standstill. Maybe the evolution or the moving forward is put on hold. So the Devil is Capricorn energy, and the Death card is Scorpio energy. So maybe Scorpio placements, maybe Capricorn placements may be significant for both of these. You know, either you or your partner, or flip it if it makes more sense, right? What is the focus on here? The focus on is Ace of Wands, new beginnings, a brand new start when it comes to something that you love, someone you love, or something that you're passionate about. This can be something that brings you money, right? A passion of yours, or this can be a person, right? Whatever it is, it excites the mind and the senses, right? So what is the Strength card? The Strength card is the Tower. Well, how is that a strength, Nick? Well, the Tower tells us that there is sudden and unexpected change. Well, we also have the Death card, which talks about major change, right? And overcoming something. So I do feel like this change is going to be sudden. Maybe the change is that you accept something for what it is and you begin the process of moving forward. Maybe it's that you let go, you release something. Maybe you're releasing control or the idea of whatever this is. Let's look at the recent past. Let's see where we've gone or where we've come from and see if we can add some context to this. The recent past is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is all about curiosity. It is about having raw passion for something. It's also sometimes immature energy, because whereas the Page represents the lowest level of the court cards, right? Someone who is in this immature energy, who has maybe just physical desire for you, as opposed to someone a bit more mature, like say a knight or a king or a queen, right? That is more mature energy. But this being the Page, maybe there is just this raw curiosity here. Let's see what the near future is. So if we had a little bit of passion, or if we were immature in our passion, what do we have now? Very interesting. I'm going to say this. This is a very distinct image that I'm getting here. The near future is the Three of Wands. But what's very interesting about this Three of Wands in comparison to this Page of Wands, right? This Page of Wands is looking forward to something. There is, again, this element of curiosity. But with this Three of Wands, he has his back to us, the collective, right? So perhaps something that you were looking forward to with the Page of Wands energy, you may now have turned your back on. You may be moving forward from this. And it's very interesting how I got that. The Three of Wands often talks about either staying on the sidelines, or it could be expansion and growth, looking over the horizon, waiting for your ships to come in, allowing for whatever this is to unfold. And maybe it's a bit of that energy as well. Maybe it's just, I feel like you could have let go of something. Again, with this Tower, with this transformation energy, you could have just let go. And as you're letting go, maybe you're watching everything unfold in the way that it's supposed to. But I think what you might have turned your back on as well is the expectation or the need to control. I got confirmation chills with that. So I feel like that's the message. Okay, what is the suggested approach? The Hermit. The Hermit talks about Virgo energy. This is the energy of introspection and analysis. I feel like now you're in a good position and Spirit is asking you to look back, right? Look inward and look back. What have you learned? What do you now believe to be true? Now that you can search your heart and your soul after everything that you've been through, what do you truly want now? What do we need to know? What's our need to know? What we need to know is, well, we have a card fly now. So our need to know is the Six of Pentacles. This talks about you being supported. This talks about an equal exchange of energies, divinely guided in a way, right? If you need help, help will be provided to you. It's almost giving this energy of, the biblical quote, ask and you shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. I feel like this is definitely that energy. It's almost like heaven is about to help you in whatever this situation is. Your angels, your ancestors, your guides, whatever your view of otherworldly support is. The hope and or fear. We've got the Seven of Cups. Actually, I feel like that's not the hope and or fear. I feel like that is tied to, we're going to keep that in the position of what do you need to know. I feel like you're going to be supported in what you ask for. The Seven of Cups is decisions. It is choices. So you're going to be given support in making a decision, in making a choice, right? It can also be something that you've dreamed about. You may be getting some help to reach your dreams, right? This could be dreams, daydreams, fantasies, waiting for an opportunity. And I feel like it's going to be help in trying to reach your dreams, right? You have Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles coming out as the hope and or fear. The Knight of Swords talks about taking action. The Knight of Swords is inspired action or quick action here. And the King of Pentacles, it is perhaps when it comes to business or a deal, it can also be the energy that's tied to finance. You may be helped or given aid in order to make some kind of a move for your better good or your highest good, right? Something that can be very financially lucrative for you. Maybe in starting a business or in some kind of business affair, right? But I also feel like this has to do with creating an empire or wealth. I feel like it's establishing something and creating a business or a project or a company maybe. What is the probable outcome? Four of Swords. So this is about relaxing. It's also about, maybe not trying to control the process. Just let it unfold. Let it come to you. We have two other cards that came out with it. I feel like they're going to be important. Interesting. I feel like you have a decision to make. Again, Two of Wands. This is about the way forward. And I feel like you're probably really worried about that. We also have the Hanged Man. I feel like for whatever this decision is, Spirit is going to help you see things differently. The Hanged Man is about gaining a new perspective. But it's also about letting go and releasing control, just like the Four of Swords is, in a way. The Four of Swords tells you to take a pause or a rest, as does the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man takes it a little bit further. Maybe you might have to sacrifice something. Or something that you thought you needed to sacrifice. Maybe it's just coming to terms or accepting it. Whatever this is that's coming your way, right? There's Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Maybe someone has to sacrifice a Queen of Cups, feminine water energy, right? Maybe they have to let that go in order to have whatever's promised for the future. Maybe by letting go of whatever this is and just allowing yourself to move forward, maybe they will receive this Queen of Cups energy. They will open themselves up to receiving love. Feminine water energy, we're talking about Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be Sun, could be Moon or Rising. And when we were talking about the King of Pentacles, this is going to be Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Again, doesn't have to be Sun, could be Moon, Rising, or another prominent placement somewhere. In closing, I feel like whatever was holding you back, keeping you restricted here, you're going to gain new perspective. You're going to see that whatever you thought something was, or maybe you had hope about something, and it's in this letting go. It's in this turning your back on the expectation or outcome. that really brings forth what you truly desire. Or it's going to open up the way for Spirit to be able to help you to achieve or receive this. But again, I feel like it's about not controlling the process, not holding on. It's all about surrender. It's all about letting go. And I feel like that's how you're going to get what you've asked for. Sending you peace, love, and light.